And Congress is under pressure after the House voted down Speaker Johnson's funding plan. The government is set to run out of money in just 12 days. 14 Republicans and all but 3 Democrats voted against the bill. Now Speaker Johnson says he's searching for a plan B.
We ran the play. It was the best play. It was the right one. And so now we go back to the playbook. We'll draw up another play, and we'll come up with a solution. I'm already talking to colleagues about their many ideas. We have time to fix the situation, and we'll get right to it.
ABC's Jay O'Brien joins me now from Capitol Hill for more. Jay, what are you hearing from lawmakers about why this failed?
Well, this failed because Johnson just didn't have the support on his right flank for this measure, and Democrats weren't going to support it because of what Johnson put in this temporary government funding bill. On Johnson's right flank, there are conservatives who say they don't want to vote for any temporary government funding package, and that's why, as you said, those 14 Republicans voted against this measure. On the left, for Democrats, this isn't a clean extension of government funding, meaning it doesn't just extend government funding with nothing else in the legislation. Johnson put in this, what's called the SAVE Act, which will require proof of U.S. citizenship prior to voting in a federal election. And what Democrats say is that's a political move by Johnson because it is already illegal if you're a non-citizen to vote in a federal election. Johnson would say that there needs to be more safeguards. But because Democrats say, look, this is unnecessary, it's a political move to put that in this government funding measure, they voted against it. Johnson didn't have enough votes in his own party, and that's why this went down last night.
Now, the SAVE Act has the support of Republican leadership, so why did some Republicans vote it down?
Well, they didn't necessarily vote against the SAVE Act per se. They voted against a temporary extension of government funding. A lot of those 14 Republicans, almost all of them, actually I think all of them who voted against that temporary government funding measure last night, voted for the SAVE Act when it was its own legislation. So they support the SAVE Act, but they do not support this temporary extension into March of government funding that Johnson put in because they're spending hawks. They don't want to extend government funding at its current levels. They want to cut government funding, or they want to fund the government in the normal way, which is passing the proper appropriations bills to do so. The reality is there just isn't enough time to pass those appropriations bills. That's why Johnson is looking at some kind of a temporary funding measure, but he doesn't have the votes in his own party to do that. He's going to have to most likely look across the aisle, go to Democrats, and that would involve a funding measure that doesn't have any other political elements to it, no other pieces of legislation, and is just, as they say, a clean extension of government funding. But Johnson's running out of time to do that and essentially strike a deal with Democrats because government funding, Diane, as you know, expires at the end of this month. So he's just got a week or so to get this done.
All right, ABC's Jay O'Brien on Capitol Hill. Thank you.